Hello everyone, today I will be self-indulgent and share with you one children's story that I wrote that has been quite popular on Medium, so I'm just going to read it to you. It's called The Girl and the Ice Cream Shop. There was once a little girl who had a loving mother. They were not very well to do, but the mother made it a point to put healthy food on the table daily. One day when the girl was 10, her mother said, "You're now big enough to help me with some chores. You shall accompany me to the supermarket to carry the groceries." Together they walked to the nearby supermarket. When they arrived, the mother asked the girl to wait outside with the shopping trolley as she went in to pick up some groceries. Now, this supermarket was not just any supermarket, it was a special supermarket. It was located right beside the most luxurious ice cream shop in town. The ice cream shop created the most indulgent and decadent ice cream bowls and catered to the richest, most pampered children in town. The little girl was mesmerized. She stood outside the ice cream shop and peeked at the little girls and boys inside. They were dressed in the finest clothing and had the most outlandish looking bags and shoes. She wondered to herself, how does this ice cream taste like? Will it be out of this world? Soon the mother came out with the bags of groceries and loaded them into the shopping trolley. She turned to the girl and said, "Do you know that one bowl of this ice cream is enough to pay for an entire week's groceries?" The little girl was flabbergasted. Day after day, the mother brought the little girl to the supermarket and asked her to wait outside as she shopped. One day, as the little girl was waiting, she saw a beautiful young girl march out of the ice cream store with a bowl of barely eaten ice cream. The beautiful girl walked straight to the open bin and threw the ice cream bowl right into it. She stormed off angrily to the nearby car, opened its door, and went right back into another lap of luxury. Miraculously, the ice cream bowl survived. It had landed squarely on the newspapers in the bin and had barely touched the trash. The little girl paced quickly towards the bin in hope of salvaging the ice cream. At that moment, her mother emerged from the supermarket saying, "Dear, let's go home now. Your father is expecting us and we cannot be late." The girl turned away from the bin sadly and walked home with her mother. The next few days, the little girl complained to her mother, "I'm glad I'm not like those rich children, wasteful and indulgent. I hate them and I hate that ice cream shop." The mother looked at the little girl with a weak smile and said, "My dear, you're suffering a lot right now." Many months passed and it was the little girl's birthday. As usual, the mother and the little girl walked towards the supermarket with the shopping trolley. As they approached the supermarket, the mother walked right past it and straight into the ice cream shop. The little girl was shocked. Soon, she followed her mom and they were sitting at a table with a modest but decadent-looking ice cream cup in front of them. "Eat," said the mother to the little girl. "Let's eat and celebrate your birthday," she smiled. The girl was alarmed. "I'm not touching this sinful stuff. These were created for wicked rich girls who are wasteful. Only sinners eat this ice cream." The mother smiled, and taking a spoon, she dug right into the ice cream and helped herself to a huge spoonful of ice cream with chocolate fudge and crushed cookies. She licked her lips with delight and said, "Delicious." She took a deep breath and asked, "My dear girl, is Mommy a sinner now?" The little girl chuckled and began to eat the ice cream. Soon the ice cream was gone. The two sat on their chairs, satisfied and happy. As they were preparing to leave, they heard a mild commotion at a nearby table. "Mommy, there's this boy in school that said a beautiful girl not much older than the little girl. Her mother, a posh and elegant-looking lady, barked harshly, "Zip! Be quiet and eat your ice cream. Can't you see that I'm busy taking selfies for my Instagram? I have no time listening to your sad little stories. I am a celebrity." The girl cried, "You are always like this, Mommy. You never pay any attention to me." The mother replied smugly, "What about you? You're so self-centered, always talking about yourself. Have you ever asked me about my life?" The beautiful young girl was exasperated. She bit the bottom of her lip and said, "Why can't you just be a mother and let me be a child?" With that, she took the ice cream bowl, stormed right out of the shop and threw it in the bin in front of the shop. A tear streamed down the eyes of the little girl. She turned to her mommy and said, "I love you so much, mommy. I would rather have you than all the ice cream in the world." Her mother asked, "How are you feeling now?" The little girl replied, "I feel grateful for the ice cream, but more for you, my dear mother, who has always been taking care of me." "How about those rich girls who can afford to eat expensive ice cream bowls daily? How are you feeling about them now?" her mother asked. The girl paused. After a long while, she replied, "At first, I was angry with them. I guess I was envious of their wealth. But today, I feel like I have so much more than them. I have a mother who really cares about me. I feel pity for them now. As for the ice cream, I had always imagined that they would taste out of this world. But when I tried, it was just ice cream. I'm glad that you brought me here today, Mommy. After tasting this posh ice cream, I finally realized that out-of-reach things are always more attractive than readily available things. But once we have tasted them, they're just ordinary." The mother hugged the little girl and said, "I love you, dear. You've nailed it." With that, they walked home with full hearts and an empty grocery trolley. Okay, so that's the end of the story. It's called The Girl... let me see. The Girl and the Ice Cream Shop. I'll put the link to this story at the description below so you can read it again. Okay, so let me just talk a bit more about why I wrote this. It's inspired by many things, but also a big part of it came from my work at Paragon. I was working at a psychiatric clinic then, 6 months, and every day I walk past all those high-class shops selling designer bags and clothes and shoes, and they always look quite bizarre to me, very outlandish. And of course, I was looking at Paragon. There were a lot of rich people coming in, sometimes with really outlandish looking clothes. And so I always felt a bit like that little girl outside with the shopping trolley looking into a very rich world, because I myself, I'm poor and I don't have much money, but I'm always at this threshold where I can still see into a world of the rich and well-to-do, the famous. So that I felt a lot like that little girl. Of course, it's also a reference to Jesus. You know, Jesus dining with the sinners, and the Pharisees saying that well, you shouldn't be dining with sinners. Don't you know that this all like this prostitute came and cried and washed Jesus' feet with her tears and all that, and Jesus was being judged. So the mother in this show really takes the role of almost like a Jesus Christ, coming in and eating with sinners in this ice cream shop, and it realized that it's not the ice cream or the act of eating with them or eating their food that is sinful, but there are other things like self-preoccupation, self-aggrandizement that they were actually more toxic. So yeah, so and the beautiful part about this story, I allowed the mother to refrain from any kind of lecturing, refrain from any kind of preaching. She had many opportunities, but she remained silent, and she waited patiently until the girl's birthday to bring her into the shop and to let her see how it's like to be on the other end, the end of the rich people who are suffering other things. Yes, they might have lots of resources, they might be able to eat ice cream bowls every day and have the most beautiful bags and clothes. In their estimation, most beautiful bags and clothes. For me, they just look ridiculous and outlandish. Okay, anyway, yes, so and I realized that's how it's like in this world. Yes, the ice cream actually tastes fairly ordinary. It's really mostly marketing. And also, look at how they're suffering. The little girl, although she's in a lap of luxury, but she's suffering because her mom is not paying enough attention to her, as opposed to this other little girl, the poor little girl who's always waiting outside with the empty trolley. She's actually more blessed in a way because she has a mother who genuinely cares about her. So that's like the twist of the story. And the last part about them walking back with the empty trolley, it is also important. Like, I taught you a lesson, but it did cost a price, 1 whole week's of groceries price. So we don't have the groceries, yes, but we've learned a good life lesson, and that would be like almost like a daily bread, in a figurative sense. So yes, this is a story nestled with a lot of morals as well as Christian values, although you may not know it from first glance. So okay, if you enjoyed this video, kindly press share, like, and subscribe. And yes, my story is at the description below. You can read it and read it as many times as you want and share it with your friends too. Thank you so much, and God bless.